Today I finished reading the Omnibus edition of the Gregor Eisenhorn stories by writer Dan Abnett. This is the first book that I have read in the Warhammer 40k setting. I found it to be surprisingly good as a genre novel. It manages to combine detective fiction with science fiction and fantasy. The final novel in this book, Magos, even manages to successfully insert dark comic elements. Most of the stories are written from the first-person perspective of Eisenhorn himself, with the exception of the final novel. I got the impression that this was done to convey Eisenhorn's moral decline over several stories, with the final story leaving readers wondering, due to lack of being able to read Eisenhorn's own thoughts, if Eisenhorn had slipped over the line into full-blown heretic. Prior to reading this novel, my knowledge of Warhammer 40k setting largely comes from watching YouTube videos and reading articles online. I was given the impression that the worlds it depicted were largely grim and industrial. However, in his stories, Dan Abnett was able to show that the worlds contained variety. For me, this made the setting more believable. I think if characters were constantly written as experiencing unending horror, the reader would grow numb to it. By suggesting the setting of Warhammer also included distractions like fairs, like in one story, it allows the reader to take a breath and lower their anxiety so that when something shocking does happen, it has more of an effect. Dan Abnett is an excellent author, and I look forward to reading more of his work.